Um, did it strike you at the time of the mess you had made of your life to be in a situation that you're one of the greatest financial minds in the world, looked at by world leaders and asked their, your thinking by the most prominent and important people in the world, and here you are in solitary confinement. You got to make a collect call to somebody. Did it strike you at the time how all the threads of your life had come together and put you in a position, or you had put yourself in that position?
No.
And it never struck you about how to end up in a situation like this?
No, that would be probably means I would be too self-aware.
You can't possibly expect me to believe this.
I know. I don't believe it.
You're telling me that during that day, you never had a moment you sat there and go, what the fuck have I done with my life that I'm in a 6x9 jail cell when I should be on a trading desk, or I should be in my $250 million the greatest townhouse in New York City, taking calls from the king of Saudi Arabia, the president of China, the head of Russia, the president of the United States, to save the world's population from a financial debacle. You honestly expect me to believe that that never happened?
You're suggesting I was somewhat depressed, and how could this happen to me?
I'm not saying depressed. I'm saying a moment of awareness of how could I get myself into this situation.
No, I would just say how strange that this happens. It's strange. I'm wearing a jumpsuit and flip-flops.
Over and over in this interview, Steve Bannon presses Epstein on his experience in prison. Steve Bannon keeps trying to elicit a reaction, something like regret, remorse, something human, something sad, some depression, some human emotion. And what does Epstein respond with every time? No. He had no human emotion in response to going to prison. There was no regret about losing the life that he had as a billionaire with all the privileges associated with that. There's no sadness, there's no depression, there's just amusement. He thought his life was amusing. Very psychopathic. But psychopathy is probably an attribute that we should predict in someone like Jeffrey Epstein. But what we should not predict is what follows. Someone who suffered in prison, someone who didn't feel safe eating the food, someone who didn't have access to all the pleasures of the life he had before, an intellectual who didn't even have books that he could read, someone who should have been miserable in prison, thought it was amusing and had no regret and no remorse and no depression over it. But this same person who had no depression his first time in prison, we're supposed to believe that in the second time he goes to prison, suddenly now he's depressed, now he's sad, now he's remorseful, and now he is suicidal. Jeffrey Epstein doesn't seem to have the psyche to commit suicide. But that's apparently what we're supposed to believe.